Hey guys, Tina here, and I am competing in a CrossFit competition this weekend. I know, it's been a while. This competition is put on by Girls Gone RX. It is a breast cancer fundraiser, and they're raising money for Compete with a Cure, which is an awesome organization. I'll put the link below. You guys can check it out. If you want to donate, feel free. I didn't make this video to ask you for a donation, but hey, might as well give them a plug, right? The reason I'm making this video is because I got a lot of questions at the gym this morning about how do I fuel myself? What kind of nutrition do we plan for the day of a CrossFit competition? And I love this question. And the overall big picture, I think when people ask this question is, what foods do I eat so that I can sustain my energy throughout the day? This day happens to go from 8 o'clock in the morning till 1 in the afternoon, and it is 4 events. That's a lot of time to have to sustain energy to work out. The other thing is optimizing recovery. So are we getting enough food in so that after one event we can recover so that we can then do well in the next event? The other thing is hydration, and the last thing is avoiding GI stress, because sometimes adrenaline and nerves can upset our stomach a little bit. So how do we manage and mitigate that? Let's get into it. Let's talk about the day before the event, because that's an important day. You want to eat enough food so that when you go to your event day, you are not in a caloric deficit. So the day before, you want to make sure you're getting your caloric balance in food that day. If you don't know what that number is, which you should, because I believe that's an important number for your overall health and wellness and weight management, that's a whole nother story. Make sure you're eating 3 to 4 meals throughout the day with a little carb, a little protein, and a little bit of fat. Do not overeat, so you don't want to get really full, but you definitely want to feel like you're satiated at each one of those meals. That would be enough to be ready for the event day. You also want to make sure you are hydrating the day before. And I don't mean get up, guzzle a bunch of water, go all day, and then guzzle a bunch of water at night, and then that's how you are hydrating yourself. And you're not hydrating yourself, you're basically, all that water is just going to go right through you. I'm sure you've all experienced that before. So I recommend have about a 32-ounce water bottle, sip on that water throughout the day, refill it, and then sip on it through the rest of the evening, and that should get you hydrated so that your tissues are ready to be at optimal performance on event day. Now, we wake up in the morning and we are competing today. What are we gonna have for breakfast? Have what you normally have. You're gonna wake up in the morning and you're gonna have a few hours before your first event. So, what are you used to eating? Have that. Little breakfast. My go-to is oatmeal. I put some peanut butter in there, and I have a couple of eggs. Little protein, little bit of carb, little bit of fat. So we wanna balance our meal out. Then the food and what you're gonna bring with you on game day to have in between events, think of them being more like snacks, because you don't want to have a full meal in between each event, nor will you have the appetite to eat a full meal, I promise you that. The food that you choose to bring should be soft food that's readily digestible, easily digestible, so it's easy on the digestive system, and that way it can quickly be absorbed and assimilated and move into the bloodstream to be ready to convert into energy for muscle contraction. I know, it's super cool. So the foods that we are talking about are things like yogurt. Yogurt's a great one. Applesauce. Those packets of baby food, I see people like that. You can do protein powder in a liquid form, so put some protein powder in some water or in some milk and shake that up, and you can drink that in between events. Yogurt with a little bit of honey is another good option. Hard-boiled eggs. I have another one that I really like. Avocado is another really good choice. That's going to get you some fat in there. And fruit. Fruit is a great option. Banana with some peanut butter. How about that? So all these things you can tell are very, very soft foods and can get into your system quickly. You will be very adrenalized, and when you come off of event, you're probably not going to feel like you have an appetite. Give yourself 20 minutes about, let yourself settle, do some deep breathing so that your nervous system comes back down to a regulated state. And then even if you're not hungry, you don't feel like you need anything, have a little bit. You don't have to eat all the food that you brought. Have it there and available for you, but definitely get something in carbohydrate, protein, fat combination. Okay, if you don't feel like having protein and you just choose carbohydrate, you're probably going to be just fine. So don't overthink that you have to have protein. If you have it, great. If you don't, you're going to be fine with a little carb and fat. So that is the food thing. The next thing, stay hydrated. Bring your water bottle with you. If you put it down to do an event, make sure you go back to get it afterwards, because I promise you, you're probably going to misplace your water bottle a couple times because you're going to be very distracted and having a great time and cheering people on. Don't lose your water bottle. Keep sipping on your water bottle throughout the day. Keep that hydration coming in. The last thing is you don't want to try anything new that you haven't done before. So if you're not somebody who uses protein powders, don't start using protein powders on the day of your event. That is not the day to find out that protein powder doesn't go well with your digestive system. Could be a little uncomfortable, just saying. So do what you normally do. Use the foods that you normally would eat. You know that your body's used to. It doesn't have a hard time digesting. You already might have a little bit of an upset stomach just from being nervous, feeling some performance anxiety, feeling like you want to do a good job for your teammate, and adrenaline, okay? All these things can affect our stomach and the way that we're digesting and processing our food. So keep it soft, keep drinking your water, don't overeat, but don't undereat, and have a good time. That's really important. If you have any other questions, if you aren't sure about a certain food, or just general nutrition comments, put them in there and I'm happy to respond, and I will see you on the weight floor. What about after the competition? What do we do after the competition? Pizza and ice cream, yes! I don't know, maybe it's time to party, go have a good time. Is that the best thing for optimizing recovery? Probably not, but who cares? It's just for fun.